And now, dear colleagues, we will now have the pleasure to listen to the young representatives, Ms. Sara Mallawi from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Mr. Justin Ordoyo from the Philippines, who will present to us the conclusions of the 6th UNESCO Youth Forum held in UNESCO headquarters from the 1st to the 3rd of October of this year. As you all know, the UNESCO Youth Forum is an evolving platform for dialogue and action. It's held every 2 years as an integral part of the General Conference. During these 2 days, 128 youth delegates representing 89 UNESCO member states and 84 independent observers from 68 organizations active in the field of youth did have the chance to come together to exchange opinions and discuss critical issues relating to one main theme: investing out of the crisis towards a partnership between UNESCO and youth organizations. It's a pleasure to welcome you here, and we give you now the floor.
Mr. President of the General Conference, Mr. Chairperson of the Executive Board, Mr. Director General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As I sat through the plenary sessions of the recently concluded Executive Board, I dreamt of one day being able to intervene on behalf of my country in this renowned institution. Today, my fellow delegate, Sara, and myself have the great honor to do so, not only on behalf of our country's youth, but that of the delegates of the Youth Forum and of the world. Although the youth comprise nearly a fifth of the world's population, our voice risks drowning in a cacophony of unprecedented and intertwined crises. As you strive to find solutions to the environmental and financial predicaments that beleaguer us all, we urge you not to forget the silent crisis in youth education, which precedes all other crises. Vos Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs, il faut le reconnaître. Rarement l'avenir de la jeunesse n'avait été aussi compromis qu'aujourd'hui, où nous sommes tous confrontés aux menaces des crises financières, climatiques, des épidémies, de la violence, et j'en passe. Dans ce monde instable, les jeunes sont confrontés à des défis en apparence insurmontables. De par le monde, l'on peut entendre un cri, celui de la détresse, de ces jeunes abandonnés en périphérie. Aucun pays n'est épargné, de par le monde, par ces multiples crises, pas même les pays dits développés. Mais un second cri s'élève, celui de l'espérance. Si nous sommes tous ici réunis aujourd'hui à l'UNESCO, ce n'est ni pour plaindre, ni gémir, mais pour discuter, échanger, décider et construire ensemble. Nous nous sommes rassemblés pour envoyer au monde un message clair. La jeunesse veut se prendre en main, être responsable, renoncer à être une jeunesse molle, mais une jeunesse ardente et enflammée. In order to face today's challenges, we have the following proposals. In order to reach education for all EFA objectives, public responsibility and investment is an absolute necessity in all countries. In addition, we strongly demand that donor countries follow up commitments of development aid to education at a level which will ensure the achievement of EFA objectives by 2015. To improve the link between education and the changing labor market, it is imperative that education be accompanied by a process of early participation in the labor market. We call on member states to raise awareness on the importance of the green economy amongst youth and to work with the research community to foster youth scientific research.
شكرا جاستن على هذا التقديم الرائع. فعلا هذه توصيات مهمة جدا نرجو أن تتبناها جميع الدول الأعضاء. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سيداتي سادتي الحضور الكرام، إن تحقيق التنمية المستدامة يعتبر هدفا أساسيا لجميع دولنا وحكوماتنا دون استثناء، فالعالم كله في بحث مستمر عن أساليب فعالة وحلولا ناجعة لجعل عالمنا مكاناً أفضل للعيش فيه. ولكننا غالباً ما نغفل أن الحل الحقيقي يكمن أمامنا. إن غالبية شباب العالم يمكن لهم أن يبدعوا إبداعاً لا مثيل له، ويمكن لهم التعاون مع المختصين في مختلف المجالات لإيجاد حلول واقتراحات تساهم في القضاء على أغلب مشكلات مجتمعاتهم التي يعيشون فيها، لتؤدي بها إلى تنمية مستدامة في أغلب جوانب الحياة. في 5 أكتوبر الحالي ركزت سعادة المحترمة ميشيل جان الحاكم العام لكندا في خطابها الذي ألقته في اليونسكو على ضرورة تنمية قدرات الشباب المتنوعة. بالإضافة إلى ذلك دعت إلى إشراكهم في العمل على بناء هذا العالم، وهذا بالتحديد هو المحور الثاني للمنتدى الشباب السادس لليونسكو بعنوان مشاركة الشباب نحو استراتيجية طويلة المدى. وقد توصل المنتدى الشبابي إلى التوصيات الآتية. Ladies and gentlemen, we, the participants of the 6th UNESCO Youth Forum, strongly call on every member state to include youth delegates within their official delegation to the UNESCO General Conference by 2011, based on a common set of criteria. We call on all UNESCO national commissions to create permanent youth desks. We urge member states to ensure greater international representation of delegates at the Youth Forum, and to secure funding for least developed countries that may not be able to send youth delegates to the forum. We ask UNESCO and its member states to cooperate with NGOs and media institutions to promote positive messages, particularly through OSNs where youth are very active, on issues such as non-violence. That is, to disseminate good practices amongst youth and to ensure that the Bonn Declaration on Education for Sustainable Development is implemented. We are confident that our opinions and ideas can make a difference, but first, they must be heard. They must be heard. Thus, we urge you to give us opportunities, resources, and support for us to act. We call upon all member states to consider our recommendations with a sense of urgency and to include them in their draft reports to the General Conference.
Although the future may seem bleak for many young people, as we enter an era of consequences, we are agents of positive change, and through this forum, we aim to bring hope back home with us to make a lasting difference in our countries and communities. All we ask is that you have faith in us, the future you. I would like to close by saying that if you feel that you are too insignificant, and in this case, too young, to cause the world to take action and move, imagine yourself sleeping in a room with a mosquito. With these final words, I urge the world's youth, as well as those of you in this room who haven't lost their youthfulness in mind and heart, to bring out the mosquito that lies within and sting this world back to the way it ought to be. The youth of the world, thank you for your kind attention.
I would like to say that based on the information you've just heard, you will all have to agree that the future of the world is in good hands. And I trust that the recommendations that have been made, that delegations will take it into consideration and do what is necessary. Because you can't have these words that are being said and they go nowhere. So you have some responsibility, I think, to be able to do some of the things that were recommended to you today. Thank you again. I must say that your report gives us the possibility to share and take into account a fresh view of UNESCO. So be assured that we will do everything that we can in order to help to make this a reality. Thank you once again.